Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Faringer, an attorney, spiritual guide, and wealth activator. I'm here to help you align your mindset for abundance and break through any glass ceilings with money. If you're ready to embrace your highest calling, manifest with more ease, and create a life that feels lighter and more aligned, then let's dive in. Hello, thank you for joining the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna. Thank you for joining me today. It's been several weeks, almost a month probably, since I recorded a podcast. Wanted to take a little time off during the holidays, just because it's busy and I like to use it for rest. So anyway, I hope everyone had a great holiday season if you celebrate. And I know that by the time this airs, we're going to be, halfway through the month of January, but I do want to talk about some New Year's related topics because I think it's really important in a lot of what I talk about, and it does relate to wealth and it does relate to your body and how you feel in your body. So I do not celebrate New Year's as the new year. And what I mean by that is, I honor the holiday, right? We have New Year's Day. It's an actual holiday. We have it off. I like having that time off to rest. In terms of using the new year, the calendar new year as a clean slate or a place to kind of start over and feeling like I'm going into the year fresh, I do not follow January 1st as the New Year's. I used to until several years ago when I started to recognize how I felt during this time of year versus how I feel in the spring and in the summer. So my belief is that the new year starts in March when the astrological new year starts. And what I mean by that is, we live by a calendar. The calendar is fake. It's made up. Somebody decided that January 1st is the new calendar year, and everybody now lives their life around that, which is fine. If you choose to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. What I want to talk about is paying attention to how you feel, not to what the made-up fake calendar is telling you to do. So, for me, I don't feel really energetic this type of year. It's winter. It's cold, it's dark. I often sleep a lot more during this time of year. I do not do well with the time changes every year. I feel like it takes me longer and longer to try to get back to a normal schedule after that happens. I sleep a lot more, I'm tired, it's dark outside, so I don't want to do as much outside or go places. It's winter, we're supposed to be hibernating. So when everyone else in the world is telling you that January 1st, you're supposed to be setting resolutions and doing all these things and making it a fresh start, I'm I don't want to do that. I'm tired. So I don't participate in all of the, the cultural and social activities that come with January 1st. I'm hibernating. I don't want to do a whole lot right now. So March 21st, which is when the spring equinox is and when the astrological year starts, for me is a more aligned time to feel like I'm making a fresh start. The days are longer, there's more sun, it's getting warmer, nature is starting to come back alive, things are going to start blooming, things that are animals that were hibernating are going to start coming back out, right? So for me, that just is a much more aligned time to start doing things. And by the way, there doesn't have to be a time of year where you decide you're going to have a clean slate. You can do that anytime you want. You can do it January 1st, you can do it in March, you can do it anytime that feels good. You can start over at any time. So I want for people, I would love this for you to have this year be the year that you start listening to your body. If nothing else, if this is the year that you start listening to your body, your life will dramatically change. The amount of money you bring in will dramatically change. How you feel about yourself will dramatically change. When you stop listening to what other people and what society are telling you you're supposed to be doing, and you start listening to your body and how you actually feel, and honoring that and allowing yourself space to be like, oh, how do I feel in January? Do I feel energetic? Do I feel like I want to start going to the gym every day, even though I've never done it for the entirety of my life before now? Do I want to start setting goals? Do I want to create a vision board? If those things align for you, do it. But if they don't. Don't do things because people are telling you to do them. Let this also be the year that you stop doing things that you do not want to do. The amount of people that are constantly doing things that they don't want to do and doing it out of obligation for family and other people, it just absolutely baffles me. You did not come on this earth to live your life for other people or to be worried about other people's feelings constantly. And I'm not telling you to move through life by being a narcissist or not by caring about other people. What I'm telling you is you have to put yourself first. If you do not continue to put yourself first to the detriment of yourself, you are never truly going to be happy. Before I ended the year off, I had several people in different settings telling me how obligated they felt having to do things with family. And I know that comes up a lot over the holidays. You guys, you do not have to spend the holidays with your family. Nobody said you had to do that. Just because you've done it every single year before now doesn't mean you have to do it this year. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Your family members are going to live. You don't have to keep doing things you don't want to do. Give yourself a break. Maybe even next year you say, hey, if you don't enjoy the holidays or you don't want to have to go visit family, tell them I'm going to take this year off and I'll see you next year. Start doing things for yourself. You have to stop doing things for other people. You do not have to live your life for your family or for other people or out of obligation. Stop doing it. This is what makes people so miserable. I see it all the time, you guys. It's not just during the holidays. It just comes up a lot more during that time. The amount of people that tell me that they hate spending the holidays with their family by far exceeds the people that don't tell me that. Stop doing it. If it's not fun to visit your family during the holidays, say, look, I love you and I want to spend time with you, but I'm going to come at a different time of year because it's less stressful or something. You have to start living your life for yourself, not for other people, and listening to your body. If your body is telling you this doesn't feel good, stop doing it. So I know this is kind of just like a hodgepodge of topics today that kind of all relate to this time of year, the calendar time of year, holidays, the new year, so to speak, January 1st. But listen to your body. Close your eyes. This is so easy, you guys. Just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths in. Just check in with how you feel. And do this when you think about how you feel right now, right? How do I feel this time of year? How does my body feel? Do I feel sluggish? Do I feel energetic? How do I feel when I think about going to see my family for the holidays? Do I feel heavy? Does my heart hurt? Does my stomach feel upset? Do I have anxiety? You guys have to notice those things, and you can start to make small changes in your life. You don't have to cut your family off. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about listening to how you feel. The more you listen to how you feel, the easier it becomes to make decisions in your life, especially around money and other forms of abundance and getting the life that you truly want. And I do really believe that this time of year, people are sold a lie. And they are told like they have to start doing all these things, making resolutions. And a lot of people don't follow through with them. If you do, that's great. And if this is a good time for you, if you really do feel like this is a good reset, keep doing it. I don't. And it's funny, I went to dinner the other night with some friends, and one of my friends asked everyone if they made resolutions. And out of 4 of us, only one person did. It's not even really a resolution. It's just like a goal that this person has been trying to obtain for a while. And so I think it's like just her priority. But 2 of us were like, oh, I don't set resolutions. I explicitly said, this to me is not the new year. I celebrate it in March. Excuse me. And one of our other friends said, no, because I don't like being disappointed. And it was funny, but it's also so telling. It's like, stop setting goals and resolutions just because you're told by society you're supposed to do it right now. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You do not have to set a resolution. You don't have to do anything. Chill, relax, sleep, hibernate. It's dark outside. Wait until March or another time of year where you feel more aligned. You can set goals for yourself anytime. You can make changes in your life anytime. And I do recommend that if you're not going to do it at the beginning of the calendar year that we are forced into utilizing, that you do set times for yourself throughout the year where you are going to take an audit of what's happening in your life and of your goals and your priorities, and where you really say, if this is what I want in life, and these are the things that are a priority to me, am I spending my time and my money in alignment with that? If not, then you should set new goals that align with your priorities. I think that's important to do at least once or twice, if not more, during the year. So again, don't just let the beginning of the year be like, okay, I'm going to do, this is going to be a clean slate. And then you try to meet a goal or a resolution, and then you fail. And the rest of the year, you're just like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then you get to the new year again, and you're feeling disappointed in yourself. You don't have to do that to yourself. Just let it go. Don't create resolutions if they don't feel aligned. Don't make changes in your life if you're not ready for it. Don't set goals if you don't want to yet, but yes, you should at certain points throughout the year. And my belief is you should always have a money goal, always, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much money you have, assets, whatever, you should have money goals. If you don't have money goals, what are you doing this for? What are you getting up every day and going to a job or doing work for? And don't tell me it's because you love the work that you do. I'm sorry, I know that there's people that's actually their belief, and that they do love the work that they do, and that, oh, I would do this even if I didn't get paid. Fine, great, super good for you. I'm happy for you. However, you still have to pay your bills. Everyone has to pay their bills, and everybody has goals for money. You do, even if you're not actively pursuing them. The way that you can get yourself to actively pursue them is to sit down and actually come up with goals and figure out how you're going to achieve them. And that's, again, aligning your mindset and your action with the goals that you want so that you can actually get to them. It's two pieces. It's not just action. It's not just mindset. It's both. So if you have a goal that you want to start saving and you don't know how you're going to do that, sit down and write out a plan. And if you're not sure, just start coming up with ideas, or how are the ways that I could do this? Okay, I can make more money, or I can cut my expenses. Let me look at the possible ways I can do this. Start coming up with ways you can make more money. Start reducing your expenses. People who tell me that they can't reduce their expenses, there are so few people that can't. I'm sorry. Most people are just not being honest about what they're spending. So there are definitely people who are living in poverty. There are people who don't have enough money to pay their bills. That is a reality. Those are not the people I'm talking about. The large majority of people can make changes in their life and their expenses and their economic reality if they just made some different lifestyle choices. I guarantee it, because I see it all the time. I see other people's financial information all the time. Clients that I work with from a mindset perspective, clients that I work with representing them against the IRS, I see people's finances and I see the lifestyle choices that they're making. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. This is not judgmental. Whatever people choose to spend their money on is up to them. However, if people are telling me that they're not achieving their goals in life around money, I'm going to tell you that there's changes that can be made. And people just have to be honest with themselves about that, instead of being like, I can't possibly reduce my expenses. Yes, you can. Everybody can. Almost everybody can. I can tell you, because I see it constantly. So having money goals. It's important to have money goals. If you don't have money goals, you're not going to ever have more money than you do now. You're just not. Something that is talked about a lot, and it might just be that I see it because I do When I'm on social media, look at a lot of ways that people talk about money and finances and saving and retirement and all that stuff because I find it interesting. I like to hear the ways that other people talk about it. I also like to see what misinformation people are giving out about that because there's tons of misinformation on the internet about a wide variety of topics, mostly around money. But if people aren't, like, people not having savings, that is so troubling to me because you should be able to get to a point where you can save some money, even if it's only $5 a week or $10 a month. You should be able to do that. You should have some sort of goal where you're trying to get an emergency savings, regardless of what it's for. If your car breaks down, if you have a medical emergency, if you can't work, if you get really sick, something so that you have some money and you're not completely in a bind if that happens. That's step one to getting the kind of life that you want. And so if you are going to set a money goal for the year, I recommend it be starting an emergency savings. If you don't have one, start there. Now, I can't give you financial advice, and I'm not giving you financial advice. What I would tell you is if you have high balance credit cards, you absolutely want to get those paid off first. Just from a wealth perspective, it's better to get rid of high interest credit cards, high interest debts first before you start putting money in savings. But I think there's a way that you can do both so that if you do get into another emergency, you don't have to use a credit card. Yeah, I just these are just some things that come up a lot around this time of year, and I want to address it because I think it's important. There's so much noise out there, so much about money and exercise and fitness and all of these goals that people create for themselves around this time of year. Again, if it feels aligned, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. If you don't want to create a money goal right now, don't. That's fine. You should, though, at some point in time. The more you go on without a money goal, the more I think people will realize that they're not very happy because they are not aligning their lives with the things that they want. And money is not everything, by the way. If you love the life that you live and you don't want more money, that's fine. I will just say you should always have some plan for when things don't go the way that you think they're going to, because it happens all the time. Again, having a disability, a severe medical issue, something that comes up, you need to be able to have a backup plan. If you don't have any money in savings, if you don't have any money in retirement, you are going to really struggle in the future if these are not things that you're making a priority. So even if you're like, oh, I don't really need more money than I have, fine and great. But I would still encourage you to try to start saving for the future in some capacity and not depending on Social Security, which may or may not exist. Nobody knows. But there's just so many things that you can do now that can set yourself up for success down the road. And people not doing that, I think it's just it's so detrimental to their lives. And again, I see it constantly when I'm representing taxpayers against the IRS. People get into really, really, really bad financial circumstances that they never thought that they were going to be in. And they have literally no money, no savings, no emergency money, no nothing. And then they get to a point where they can't work and they're really, really in a bind. So I know everyone always thinks that's not going to happen to me, or I'm always going to be able to make the same amount of money that I'm making now. And I can just tell you with absolute certainty that's probably not true. There becomes a point in your life where you can't work. For some people, it's sooner than it is for others, but there will come a time where you won't be able to work anymore, or where you won't feel like you want to work, or you don't want to have to work, maybe is an even better way to say it. So yeah, come up with some financial goals. If you need help with that, contact me, DM me, message me on Instagram, send me an email. You guys can come up with super easy goals, even if it's just saving $5 a month. Stop buying one coffee a month. Reduce one streaming service, unless that's something that you really enjoy. If you do love streaming services and TV, fine, do it. Especially if you're not spending money on a lot of other forms of entertainment. But there are ways that you can do this. And I'm going to bring this up because This is something I see on TikTok all the time. I love watching people talk about money on TikTok. I say this all the time, you guys. You want to heal your relationship with money, go on TikTok and like find people talking about money, how much they make, how much they spend, how much debt they're in. It'll blow your mind. But the thing that kills me is I saw people who were going through, there was like this whole like trend of people that were telling how many times they had DoorDash or Uber Eats delivered last year. And I almost just like I was flabbergasted at the amount of money that people are wasting on food delivery. There was a girl that says she got it delivered 83 times last year. She looked like a young girl who my guess is, I have no idea what her financial circumstances are. I can just tell you, if you must have a lot of money to waste if you are ordering DoorDash or Uber Eats 83 times a year. That's like every couple days. And a lot of times people are ordering food where the value of the food is less than the amount that they're paying in delivery fees. And I'm not telling you to stop using delivery services if you like them and if they're beneficial to you, but cut down, right? Like if you're a person that gets food delivered a lot, maybe do it once or twice less than you usually do. Those fees are so expensive, you guys. It's crazy. I remember I had a friend that was telling me she was at these people's house. She was actually a lawyer. She was representing them, and they were clearly living in poverty. Like these were people like they had a lot of kids. They were living in poverty. And while she was at their house, they had Starbucks delivered. They paid more for the Starbucks to be delivered than the drinks were worth. And these are people who can't afford to be having Starbucks delivered. You guys get up off your butts and go drive to the place that you need to go and pick it up yourself. If you need to have it delivered every once in a while because you're sick, you don't feel good, you're just tired, whatever, that's fine. You want to treat yourself? Great. Stop getting DoorDash though. It's so expensive, you guys. I have people that will tell me that they can't afford things in their life and then they're like, oh, but I have DoorDash delivered. Stop. And again, I try not to be judgmental about what people are doing with their money. Just because it's something I wouldn't do doesn't mean I'm judging it. But there's so many ways that you can cut back and start creating surplus for yourself. Stop spending money on things you don't need. You don't need more shoes. You don't need more clothes. You don't need another handbag. You don't need more jewelry. Stop. Stop with all of it. Every time you spend, and this is how I am now, and I'm in a different place in my life than a lot of people are, but I'm in a place right now in my life where literally every single time I make a purchase, I say to myself, is this worth it to me to have this now versus me putting the same amount of money in a retirement account? I look at every single purchase I make, except for my needs. Like if I go to the grocery store, I'm going to buy the groceries I need and I'm going to get gas and I'm going to do that stuff. But like if I'm on Amazon or I'm at the mall, which I don't go to the mall very much, guys, people that know me know I don't shop. I don't enjoy shopping. I actually hate it. I don't buy a lot of clothes and shoes. But anytime I go to, like, there's something like, oh, I want that. I say to myself, do I want that so bad right now? I'm willing to forego putting that money in a retirement account and letting it grow and compound into a much larger amount of money down the road. Even if it's just $40, you guys, $40 today is going to be a lot more money in 10, 20, 30 years. And if you're not starting to think about your life that way, I would highly encourage you to do that. If you're very young and you're like, I don't want to worry about saving right now, great. But if you're in your 40s and 50s, let me just tell you, if you do not have savings and you don't have retirement and you have not made a plan for how much you are going to need in retirement, you should be doing that this year immediately as soon as possible. And when you're looking at purchases, you should be saying, is it worth it for me to have this shirt today because I want it so badly that I'm willing to forego paying this money out today instead of putting it into an account that can benefit me down the road? You're better off putting your money in a high yield savings account, even though that doesn't have very much growth and interest, but you're better doing that than just buying random stuff if you're not going to like put it in a retirement account and invest it. So that's just the perspective I'm coming from really in every single purchase I make. I say, is this something I'm willing to sacrifice right now so that I can have long-term growth and money? Honestly, you guys, I'd rather not have to work. I don't want to have to work, right? Like, and what I mean by that is I'm a person who will probably always work because I like to be mentally stimulated. I like helping people. I like doing those kinds of, things like, and keeping my mind busy. So I do think I'll always work. There's a difference between always working and having to work because you can't afford to do anything else. You don't want to be 80 and having to work. And by the way, I represent people who are in that situation. They are in their 80s and they have to work because they have no retirement, no savings, no emergency funds, nothing. They're going to work until literally their body has absolutely no ability to work whatsoever. That sucks. You don't want to have to work. If you want to keep working, great, but you don't want to have to. And so for me, personally, I would like to have enough money at a certain point in my life where it's like, if I don't want to work, I don't have to, but I can. And I'm in a season where I'm not willing to buy something today unless it's really important, or unless it's an experience, or unless it's something that's really going to add significant value to my life. Not willing to spend that money today to forego what that would give me in the future. Like if I could stop working before I was 60, and when I say stop working, I mean, I don't want to have to work because I want to have enough money. Excuse me. I want to be able to do that. And I'm absolutely willing to forego buying a pair of shoes. I care so little about stuff like that. It's crazy. People, probably would think I care more than I do because I do. Yeah, I dress nice. I do, for the most part, keep up with I don't want to say trends, but I don't look like I'm wearing clothes from the 80s. I do buy things, but I will buy 1 or 2 things a season, and that's it. I might buy a new pair of jeans. When the summer or spring comes around, I might refresh a few, 1 or 2 shirts here or there, but I'm not out buying stuff all the time. It's just not how I am. It's not how I've ever been. So, this is just kind of a random topic today, but it's really around a lot of things that are popping up at the new start of the calendar year. Money, fitness, health, all that stuff. If you want to set goals for yourself and resolutions, great. If you don't, listen to your body and decide when it feels more aligned. If you want to try, starting the new year in March when I do, please do. Actually, to me, it's such a lovely time to kind of feel fresh because there's more sunlight. There's, things are starting to bloom. They're going to start coming out. Nature is starting to come alive again. And we are constantly doing things that are so contrary to nature. It just doesn't feel aligned for me as a person. And I may change my mind in the future. I may say, oh, I want to start clean in the winter, the way everybody else is choosing to do. But I just don't, that doesn't feel good to me. And I know a lot of people who are starting to move to this. Yeah, it feels more aligned for me to kind of do a refresh, or, when the spring equinox comes, which is March 21st. And not doing it January 1st. So if you need a little bit more time to feel like you need to get into resolutions or setting new goals or starting the year fresh, wait till March. You can do whatever you want to do. You do not have to live by everybody else's rules. You do not have to live by everyone else's calendars. Again, let this be the year that you stop doing what other people are telling you to do, and you start listening to your body, and you start listening to what feels aligned, and you start creating money goals for yourself. If you guys want help, please reach out to me. I do. As you know, I do one-on-ones with people. I'm happy to go through and do audits with people of their expenses to help them figure out, are these aligned with really what I want in my life? I do lots of different things in my one-on-ones with people. So anyway, I hope that you are all feeling refreshed after the holidays, and that, regardless of when you decide to celebrate the new year, that, the holidays are past now, and hopefully you can just kind of start fresh with whatever you're feeling aligned with right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, before you go, would you love to receive my 3-step masterclass to easily create and hold wealth for free? It's called Effortless Money, and it includes the exact framework to start attracting money effortlessly and manifesting abundance with more ease. If you want it for free, all you have to do is leave an honest review of the Wealth Embodied podcast, take a screenshot of this episode and put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Brianna_Faringer, and we will send you the free Effortless Money Masterclass. This is how my clients have manifested a $13,000 check, a promotion resulting in a $30,000 salary increase, and significantly improved relationships. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time on the Wealth Embodied podcast.